Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. We want to remind you that we'll get started a few minutes after the hour, but please go into the chat and sign in so that we know who is here. It's great to see you. There's Ryan and Susan and Joe and Patty, Brent, Christy. Excellent. Lots of folks. Yikes, there's even Rebecca. Hey, not yikes, but Rebecca's part of my team. That's exciting. That's a surprise. Happy to see you, Rebecca. Excellent. Just a reminder to everybody, we'll get started in just a minute or two. Please go into the chat and make sure you sign in. Tara is taking attendance today, so she will be able to turn that over to Nancy Droll. So Susan, great to see you. And then is Matt on yet? I want to make sure. I don't see him yet.
I don't see him. He is joining though.
Great. And then I also want to make sure that Jeffery Dancer is here because he's going to ride the goat today.
All right.
Which for those of you who have never joined us before is not as scary as it might sound.
Jeff's here, in case you didn't get my chat. Yeah.
Excellent. We'll get started in just a minute. All right. Thanks, Kelly.
All right. Just
Got
making
it
sure.
Excellent. All right. It is great to see everybody. Look at all these smiling faces. There's Chuck. Hey, even Allison. So I have a bunch of my little team members are sneaking in here. Aren't they little surprises? Oh, look, Gary Pasha has a Northern Lights background.
Pretty cool, huh? I figured something out.
I know, you're a technology whiz if there ever was one.
Right.
Excellent. Well, I think we can go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everybody to the Iowa City Noon Rotary. My name is Barb Thomas. I am your president for just a few more minutes. That's right. It is my last meeting as president of the Iowa City Noon Rotary Club. And as we start all of our meetings, we start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So I please ask you to feel free to join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great, thank you so much. As we get going with our meeting, I want to just make sure that everybody knows that Devin is not able to be with us today because his grandfather has actually moved to hospice. So he has gone home to see his family, and I just want to make sure that we all kind of keep Devin in our thoughts and good wishes as he and his family go through this time. So with that, though, the ever capable Kelly Drown is on deck to help us with the Zoom logistics of our meeting. And so here we are in our last fully Zoom meeting, but I'm going to turn it over to Kelly one more time for some Zoom reminders. Kelly?
All right. Thanks, Barb. And don't mind my random sharing of my screen every now and then. Well, as Barb said, this is just a quick reminder on the Zoom tips. One is to please remember to sign in. Again, that is how we're tracking attendance. Also, please remember to use your mute button, especially when it comes to the presenters and goat riders. It just really eliminates all that excess outside noise so we can concentrate on the presenters themselves. The other is once we start getting to the presenters and individual speakers, I will go to speaker view, and you are welcome to do the same. You go up into the right corner where you see the waffle and choose speaker as opposed to gallery. Gallery is a great option right now, so you can see all of our friendly faces and say hello to everyone, but it's also nice to have the speaker view. As we go a little further and we start to welcome our guests and visiting Rotarians, we will ask you to utilize the participants tab and go in and raise your hand, and we will then call on you to introduce your guest, or if you are a visiting Rotarian, we will also use this feature after the presenter. Should you have questions, we will then go and use the raised hand function. And with that, I will turn it back over to Barb.
Great, thank you so much, Kelly. So we're going to give you that opportunity to practice those Zoom tips and go into the reactions tab and raise your hand if you would like to introduce a guest. Now, I do want to make sure that I introduce a few guests that I have. So I actually have my two sisters are joining us today. So first, I would like to introduce my youngest sister, Winifred Lazine. Winifred, would you like to say hello?
Hello, I'm Winifred Lazine, Barb's little sister. Very proud of you, Barb. And I am a life coach and professional coach in Boulder, Colorado. It's great to be here.
Great, thanks so much. And then my other sister is Margaret Griffin. And so, or Maggie, as she goes, we always called her Margaret, but now she is Maggie. And so Maggie, would you like to say hello?
Hey, I am the big sister. And as Barb will tell you, I have always run her life and made her life miserable. Happy to see her enjoying herself now that she's far, far away from where I am.
Oh my goodness, we could tell you stories, but we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Okay.
No.
Great. Well, I'm thrilled to have my sisters here, which is great. And I believe that my husband and my sons are also observing secretly, but they don't want to say hello. But hello to Michael and Nathan and Justin. Happy to see you here. Thanks ever so much. But then I'm going to ask Eric. Eric has his hand raised for his introductions.
Great. Thank you, President Barb. I'm excited to introduce Lori Murlock. Lori is the Associate Dean of Kirkwood's Iowa City campus, and she's very interested in pursuing membership within our club. Lori, if you'd like to unmute yourself and say a quick hello.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be here again. And yeah, I'm very excited about joining your group. And thank you, Eric, for the welcome, and for all of you for welcoming me once again. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Now, I do see that I believe that our district governor is here. Alka, would you like to say hello?
Not yet district governor, but I'm especially here to say a huge thank you to you, Barb, and for all your great work that you have done in this year. And we would love to welcome you to do more on the district level as well. You have so many talents and gifts that we would love to have you, but more so to thank you so, so much. And of course, congratulate Eric on taking up he's going to be again our new president that's coming on, and wishing you all the very best for this year. And I couldn't have asked for a greater team this year as well to start off the new journey starting July 1st. Thank you all for your great work in your Rotary clubs, and thank you.
You bet. Great to see you, Alka. And yes, soon to be district governor, I should say correctly.
It's a tough act to follow after a great leader like our DG Steve Dakin. He's been very inspiring. And
that's great. Well, I'd also like to ask any of our other visiting Rotarians. I see that Amy Nicholson is here. Amy, would you like to say hello?
Hello, it's great to be here, and congratulations, Barb, on a successful year.
yeah.
And back at you, Amy, because Amy is actually the president of the Iowa City AM Club, and we'll have her last meeting on Tuesday if anybody wants to join that meeting as well. In addition, I believe we have Elsa who has joined us. She is actually a president-elect in the Iowa City area. Elsa, would you like to say hello?
Hello, everybody, and congratulations, Barbara, on a successful year. And Eric, I'm looking forward to working with you in this coming year for a successful year. Hopefully we can get back to normal again and resume our normal activities. But it's great to be here.
Well, wonderful. Glad to have you here, Elsa. I also see that I have a couple of members of my team here at the Tippy College of Business who have snuck on. I did not know they were attending, but here they are. So if they're going to do that, I'm going to call on them. That's what you get. All right. So first, I'm going to ask Allison Hirschberger to say hello. Allison?
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to see you all, and gotcha, Barb. We wanted to just support you in this incredible accomplishment. You've done so much, and excited to see Eric taking over and see a lot of familiar faces. So it's great to be here, and congrats, Barb.
Thank you so much, Allison. How about you next, Rebecca Tilley?
Hi, yeah, I just know how much time and effort Barb has poured into this year, and just what a wonderful service that has been to the Iowa City community. And just wanted to be here for the celebration of that.
Wow, that's great. Thanks so much. And then I believe that Shannon Henderson is here as well. Shannon?
Yes, just wanting to come and support you, and we're just so proud, and just everything that you've done this entire past pandemic, beyond just the Rotary. So congratulations.
Thanks so much. And this is just my opportunity to say that I really have a kick-ass team. If it has ever been any doubt, my team at the Tippy College of Business is really a group of wonderful people. So thanks you guys for surprising and joining me. So, well, next, if there are no other introductions, we'll actually go on to announcements. And so I'm going to turn it over to Eric, who has an announcement about our future meetings. Eric?
Yep, really exciting news to share with our club. As you know, the last 15 and a half months, we've been online on Zoom. And next Thursday, July 1st, we're excited to announce we're coming back to in-person meetings, which is really exciting. We will be at the Highlander. If you haven't been in there in the last year, it's been completely renovated, looks completely different. And we all are still, if you're not able to attend in person or not comfortable yet, we are still going to have the Zoom opportunity. Now we've got a committee that's been working behind the scene to make sure it's a great experience when we come back. We purchased and built a brand new Rotary podium. We purchased some new audio visual equipment. And for those of you who love to sing our Rotary songs, Smile and Rotary and the others, thanks to Steve West and West Music, the piano at the Highlander has been tuned and is ready to go. You will notice a few changes we were talking about earlier in the meeting before most people got on with Barb. A lot of the hotel and restaurant industry was hit especially hard by COVID. They're trying to come back to whatever the new normal looks like, and a lot of them are short-staffed. So to make it easier for our club and for the Highlander, this will be a new process for us. We're used to walking in our location, ordering and paying for our lunch in person. We're going to ask our members to order and pay for their lunch in advance, which will be a change for us. And we're starting out, I believe, with a box lunch with the hopes of going to a buffet later this year. It is going to be a $15 lunch, and that includes your drink, sandwich, sides. We'll have a vegetarian option, includes tax, so it's all inclusive. 15 is a little more than we paid in the past, but the food costs, if you've been to a restaurant lately, the food costs are increasing as well as the cost of doing business. We will need really kind of all hands on deck, some extra help, especially the first couple meetings. Our greeters have not really, been active the last almost year and a half. So we'll need to recruit some new greeters to welcome folks as they come in the door. And also it takes a lot of extra work to be able to record and make Zoom happen on site. So if you're tech savvy or would like to learn more, we're recruiting folks for our audiovisual team to help with the Zoom. So finally, we want to encourage everyone, be patient. There will be some bumps, but we'll get through it together. Everyone's facing the same thing that we are. And early next week, we will send you an email with instructions on how to order your lunch online. And we'll also send you instructions on the new Zoom link. So watch for an email from us early next week, and excited to see many of you in person next Thursday.
Great, thanks so much, Eric. I want to just check if there is anybody else here that would like to make an announcement. So it kind of looks like my sister Maggie has her hand raised, maybe? Maggie, do you have an announcement, or is that just?
No, that was just an error, sorry.
Okay.
It's
I was going to be really surprised. I don't know what Eric has planned, but that would have been that would have really thrown me for a loop. So,
cat on the keyboard, sorry.
No problem. Okay, it does look like Alka has an announcement. Alka?
Yeah, I just wanted to request you all to once again invite you to come to Keokuk to felicitate DG Steve Dakin on 27th, where we will be having the gavel passing. So if you are able to join us, please join us at 1 to 3, between 1 to 3 at our Victory Park for the celebrations. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks so much, Alka. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to actually do what we call a goat ride within our community, within our club. And what that is it's for newer members. And we give them the opportunity to tell the club about themselves, but they have to do so in 3 minutes, no more. They can certainly go less, but they can do so in no more than 3 minutes. So today we are going to hear from Jeffery Dancer. Jeff, I have my little clock here set on my phone, and I'm going to give you some warnings. Okay, so be prepared that there might be 1 minute, there might be 30 seconds. And then when you see that red folder, then you know to stop. But Jeff, are you there? Are you ready to go for it?
I am here, Barb.
Okay.
I'm ready to go for it.
Get set and go.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeffery Dancer. I live here in Iowa City, Iowa. And I've got a little talk here called the 8 Points of Jeffery Dancer. Why I do what I do. I wrote it down, so I'm going to read part of it. And these are my words, though. I currently work with an organization that's a motto called No Family Left Behind. When I first heard that, it really resonated with me because I feel like there are so many families left behind in America. I feel grateful to my parents who encouraged me, and I could easily have been left behind. You see, I grew up poor on the south side of Chicago. Growing up, I remember looking around, hoping one day I could make a difference. That's why I do what I do, and one of the reasons I'm involved in Rotary, to help make a difference in the lives of others. Professionally, I help people with insurance, investments, savings, and planning. The main emphasis, though, is through the lens of financial education and literacy. We teach classes and webinars on how money works. In fact, everyone on this call today, I'm going to make available a free book called How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker. It's a free gift. The book is illustrated. It's easy to read. You can have one. You can read it yourself. Grab the nuggets involved in the book. Also, you can give it to your grandkids. They would really love it as well, or children. My other ask, though, is that I'm currently working on a guide that relates to college debt. I'm looking for people that I can talk to with on their experience in sending their kids to college, or even recent college graduates on their experience as it relates to debt. The title of the guide would be How to Graduate from College Without Debt. It's a work in progress. I know, so I'm working on that, though, the title anyway. So I like to define myself, guys, as an entrepreneurial, driven, goal-oriented dreamer. I recently heard a podcast discussing neuroplasticity, how even adults can still create new brain cells and pathways. That way is through learning new things or even relearning old hobbies. Like if you used to play an instrument, write or paint, or do something new to develop new brain cells. My old hobby was flying planes. I have always been fascinated. Even I went to the Navy and I flew to fly jets. Clearly, I don't fly jets now, but I was recruited to the Navy at Augustana College when I studied physics. So I intend to get my pilot's license as a hobby. So if there are any pilots in the audience, let's go flying. Honestly, I'm extremely grateful because my main joy of my life is being with my family, my wife, and most importantly, my 4 children and my 2 stepchildren. That's what's important in my life and what my life is all about. Done.
Boom. Perfect. Well done. Well done. Let me make sure I turn my phone off. There we go. Well done. Right on the money. You did well. Well, and this is the first time in one of our Rotary Moments of Gratitude and Positive, or in a Go Ride, that people have been offered a free book.
That's right.
So what a great deal. So thank you for sharing that. And for our other newer members, just remember that your day is coming, and just get prepared for that. So we were going to have an induction today with a new member, but unfortunately that person is unable to come. So what I'd like to actually do is I'm going to make you socialize with each other. And what that means is I'm going to throw you into some Zoom rooms. You're going to do it for maybe about 8 to 10 minutes. That means you're going to have to undo your camera so that people can see you, but we'll just do this for a little bit. You'll get to talk to some people, meet some strangers, maybe my sisters, you know, who knows. So enjoy. We're going to do this. Watch your screen where you're going to have to click to join the room. And then we'll be back and we'll do kind of our formal gavel passing. Great. Thanks.
Hello, hello.
Hey, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hello there.
Hello.
Kelly, I was spacing out. What are we supposed to be talking about?
Well, I was going to ask the same thing because I was welcoming people on the chat. Oh my God.
All right, who is paying attention?
Not me.
Nothing here.
Was it something with the moment of gratitude?
I didn't hear a question.
I don't think there was
I think we can just socialize here.
I think she was just trying to get us into chat rooms again for the experience, but no topic in particular.
No topic, I don't think.
Got it.
Well, Vern Folkman, Vern can talk about the foundation for 8 minutes.
I could, but it wouldn't be very exciting, I don't think, so I don't think I want to do that. But
Hey,
I will, I don't know this gentleman down below. Is it John?
John Schneider.
Yeah, John, tell me about yourself. I'd like to know a little more about you.
Well, I've been a member for probably 3 or 4 years. I used to work in the good old days. I was worked with Pearson, NCS before that, Westinghouse before that, and then ultimately became part of Angent. Left there in 2011, worked at ACT for 5 years or so, and then retired from that.
Great, great. Are you enjoying retirement?
I am. I find myself extremely busy, but that's a good thing. And unfortunately, the pandemic kind of cramped our style when it came to travel and some of the other activities we would do, but we worked on our home bucket list, so to speak.
Vern, can I jump in and ask you a question? This is Gary, and you know, LaDonna might not hear me, but I know one of the things that you can do with the Rotary Club is that you can give points to make somebody a Paul Harris person. And so I'd like to give 1,000 points to make LaDonna one more year in her Paul Harris thing in your club. Can you help me?
Yeah, were you talking to me? I couldn't quite hear that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll help you. I'll get you the form for that.
Okay.
You certainly can do that. We appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
That's one thing that when we had about 4 years ago, when we had President from Southgate, and that was his goal, to get everybody in our club enough points to be Paul Harris Fellows, which would be like 1,000 points. And so he did accomplish that, and we're one of the few bigger clubs that got that accomplished. I mean, I think there was only like 5 or 6 in the whole district that got that accomplished, and we were one of the bigger ones that did. It's harder when you have a bigger club, but we had a lot of members that had a lot of points, so we were able to do that. And what our hope was is that they would continue on with the giving to that Paul Harris Society. In the end, committing to giving like 1,000 a year, if they could afford it. You know, it's not everybody can do that, but if they can, it's a great charity because they're listed number 1 in the records of spending the least amount of money in administration. In other words, about 95% of the money that we give goes out to the recipients that we give it to. So it's really well, good.
Well, thanks for your help then.
We'll talk later, Gary.
Vern, do you have records of everybody's points? In other words, I'd like to know where I stand. I'm a Paul Harris fellow, but I'd like to know where I am so I know what to give to get to the next level.
Yes, I certainly do. I have those records, and we can get that. I can get that information to you.
And just email it to me. That'd be great.
Okay,
Thank
sounds
you.
good, Steve.
Okay.
Well, and just a really quick question. Who is going to be able to be at the in-person meeting next Thursday?
I am.
I'll be there.
Yay.
Yep.
Great.
Oh, good.
Do you know how that, do we have to order ahead of time for the meals? Like, I mean,
Yes.
like a day ahead?
Yes,
Yes.
that information will be coming out from Eric. Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, I think, anyway. Sure takes away a lot of the.
There was a move at one time to pay a year ahead for your meals, and that went down in flames.
Yeah, I was on the board when that was going through. Chuck Hesse was a big proponent of that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of members were not in favor.
Well, I know the AM Club, the ones that meet on Tuesday morning, because my son-in-law is a member there, and the meals are included in their fees. And so they have to pay whether they eat or not. So.
Exactly. Well, welcome back, everybody. Just a reminder to please mute your microphones as you come back into this room. Otherwise, we're going to hear you eat your lunch. We're going to hear you talk to your spouse. You know, we're going to hear your dog, whatever is going on in your life. So great. Well, thanks so much. So now really like this week, we don't have an actual speaker. Instead, it's actually really the formal gavel passing. And so as we go into that, I just wanted to share kind of my thoughts. In a way, I'm actually sharing with you my own Rotary moment of gratitude and positivity. So we all know that this has been a unique year, that's for sure. Little did I know that when I became the nominee for president of our Rotary Club, that my entire year would be virtual. But we've made it through, and I'm actually quite proud of everything that we've accomplished. So despite the pandemic, we have planted 55 trees in Court Hill Park. We've donated $30,000 to area nonprofits affected by the pandemic. We provided meals to healthcare professionals and the food insecure. We provided discounted AEDs to area businesses. We've donated $560 to Rotary International's Polio Plus program in honor of our speakers. We sent area youth to leadership camps. We provided scholarships, dictionaries, and early learning reading materials. And in addition to that, we inducted 7 new members, all virtually. That's not too bad for a virtual year. Now, there are a lot of people who help make things happen in our club, and I want to express my gratitude to a bunch of them. First off, to my fellow board members, and they're instrumental in this club's leadership, and we're all volunteers. It's a lot of volunteer effort that makes the club run. Now, this year we have 3 board members who are actually stepping down from their roles: Brenda LaMarche, Neil Quellhorst, and Jim Connard. So a quick round of applause for those 3 outgoing board members. Now, Brenda LaMarche has been a valued sounding board for me throughout this entire year. Neil Quellhorst has served dutifully as our treasurer for several years. And that treasurer role is no small task. And so I really want to thank him for taking on that role. In addition, I want to thank Madeline Windauer, who has agreed to serve as our treasurer for the next 3 years. I'm grateful for the guidance that I've received from several past presidents, but especially from immediate past president Jim Connard. Now, it seems like it was years ago, in fact, about a year and a half ago, when we tried to figure out how to make Zoom meetings work, how we could make it so that we wouldn't talk over each other. And I think we did a pretty good job in that we run a meeting. But Jim is also the person who developed the idea of the Rotary moment of gratitude and positivity. And this addition to our meetings has been really powerful. I've been impressed at what we've learned about our fellow Rotarians, and I've really appreciated the thought and the perspective that each person has put into their comments, and I hope that that tradition continues. I want to thank Devin Van Holstein and Kelly Drown for helping out with the Zoom backend logistics, which not only includes running the meetings, but also uploading the videos to YouTube. Thanks go to Tara Minettos for helping out with attendance when Devin was on paternity leave, and to Nancy Droll for dutifully entering those into the system. And we can't forget our note takers who have helped share this information with our meetings. In addition, I want to do a shout out to Chris Atchison and Tracy Triddle, who took on the leadership of our district grants committee. Now, in that, they oversaw our new application for a district grant, and along with Eric Weiler, Madeline Windauer, and myself, they helped select the different nonprofits that we supported financially this year. Now, of course, key community partners like the Community Foundation of Johnson County and the United Way of Johnson and Washington counties were key partners in our efforts to help our community during the pandemic. Now, as we look at the future, we've had a committee of volunteers who have stepped up to help with the technical challenges of hybrid meetings. Thanks go to Devin, Eric, Ryan Bell, Bill Easton, and new committee member Jeffery Dancer for their work as we move forward with hybrid meetings. And believe me, there's still opportunity for you to sign up to help with those hybrid meetings. Now, throughout this year, your president-elect, soon to be President Eric Weiler, has been instrumental. I can think of no other person who is prepared to take on the leadership of this club. Eric has said yes every single time I've asked him to do something. And he does what he says, and he is ready for this role. And we, as a club, need to be ready to support him this year, because this year will continue to have challenges. You see, the return to in-person meetings will not all be smooth sailing. Sure, there's the technology issue of hybrid meetings, but we're going to a hotel that's having to ramp up their kitchen operations that they haven't used the entire time during the pandemic. And we've all heard about the hiring shortage. We've already talked about it, but especially in the food service industry, this has been very challenging. And I am sure that our hotel partner will be facing some of those same challenges. So the transition to in-person hybrid meetings with food will be bumpy. And so I ask of you to please be patient. Your board members and your member volunteers are all doing all we can to make sure that we are up to speed, and it will be a while before we're back to the new normal of hybrid meetings. So I just want to remind you that if you want to complain about what is happening in the meeting, then you should be prepared to step up and volunteer and help solve the problem. Okay, it takes all of us. But that is truly not the only challenge facing our club. Looking at the demographics of the Iowa City Noon Rotary, we know that in 10 or 15 years, our club will look very different. And our club has this great history of having an impact and starting important initiatives like Iowa Most or Rag for Clubfoot. If we want our club to continue having a big impact in this community or in the world, then we need new members. And we need new members who are not just here to socialize at the luncheons or just to work the room for their business professional benefit. We need new members who want to make a difference. And we have been attracting them. Look at some of our new members like Tagba, Jesus, Brent. They have all already volunteered. These are people who want to make a difference, and they have realized that by joining Rotary, they're actually able to make a bigger difference because they're part of a group of people having an impact rather than just individually. So my question to all of you is, what are we gonna do next? Our success, our impact relies on each of us stepping up to the plate, taking on a role, following through with our commitments, and making things happen. The return to in-person meetings is a new dawn for our club. I hope that when we return, we will have the drive to do good work, a passion for organizing projects that will have an impact, and that we will not just sit back. We will make things happen. It's not up to me. It's not up to Eric. It's not up to the board to make things happen. It is up to each of us to do our part. It has been my honor and my privilege to be your president this year. I thank you all for your support, your encouragement, and your appreciation. Thank you. Whew, okay, did that. All right, well.
Barb, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Chet.
I just want to say I just joined you late, unfortunately, but I wanted to tell you what a terrific job you've done this year. And I personally appreciate everything you've done.
Well, thank you very much, Chet. I appreciate it. It looks like Chuck has his hand raised. Chuck?
Yeah, so Barb, I just wanted to quickly say thank you. You have led the club with such grace and style, but more than anything with great humor. And so we totally appreciate everything you've done. And yet you still continue to do your job too at the university. So
juggler.
You bet. But thank you very much, Barb.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Chuck. And I know that a number of different members have reached out in the past week or so to just kind of say, good job. And, you know, that means the world to me because, you know, as you all know, you're not paying me to do this. So I'm just doing this so that I can make a difference. And, you know, maybe it's because I always wanted to be like a TV anchor, not really, but like this is like being on television. I am like giving my little speech to the camera. And so, you know, but soon we'll be in person and this will be very, very different. So next, what I would like to actually do is formally hand over the gavel to your new president, Eric Weiler. So Eric, here you go. Virtually, I'm handing you that gavel and the meeting is yours.
All right, Barb, thank you so much. We wanted to make this meeting extra special for Barb. So you've seen she had her sisters and I think you said your husband and son as well. And we reached out and invited some of Barb's colleagues within the Tippie School of Business and some of her friends within Rotary. And I think we all agree Barb has done a tremendous job. She was the perfect person to lead us this past year. So please join me in a big round of applause for Barb. And yes, Barb, if we were in person, I'm sure it'd be a standing ovation. Barb, we feel bad that you didn't get to use the gavel in person at all this past year. As you mentioned, it was 100% online year. So the Rotary board, we purchased a Rotary gavel and we put it on a nice plaque that we will deliver to you. And it says, Barb Thomas, President, Iowa City Noon Rotary, 2020-21. So now you'll have something to proudly display in your office.
And I will proudly display it.
Yes. And as Barb mentioned, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that make the great work of Rotary happen. And I want to just recognize and acknowledge our Rotary board. I wrote down their names. I didn't want to miss anyone. So special thanks to Aaron, Anna, Barb, Brenda, Jim, Madeline, Melissa, Neil, Ryan, and Sean. And a special shout out. We're excited with our newest board members, Devin, Kelly, and Tara. I wanted to thank all of our Rotary committee chairs. And I'm thankful for all of our 272 Rotarians. I'm excited to get to know you better over the next year. A few thoughts looking ahead to next year. Our new Rotary International President Shekhar Mehta from India. Every international president has a new theme and a new goal that they propose. And the theme this year is Serve to Change Lives. And we have a Rotary banner, which we will proudly display on our podium. Probably can't see it very well, but Serve to Change Lives. And the goal behind that is they are challenging us to become more involved in community service. And as Barb mentioned, we did a lot of great things last year. We're looking to continue that community service outreach this year and look for other opportunities to make our imprint upon the community, which is really exciting. And the goal that our new international president has, it's really focused around membership. He calls it Each One Bring One. So he's encouraging every Rotarian to invite and sponsor a new member every year. Looking at our international membership, it's been stagnant at 1.2 million for about the last 20 years. And they would love to see that international number bump up from 1.2 to 1.3 million. And it's going to take all of our efforts to make that happen. And I will really want to make sure I'm leading by example. So I'm excited that hopefully one of our first members in the new year will be Lori Murlock, who I introduced today. And I just challenge all of our members, with more people, we can do more great work in our community and around the world. So in closing, kind of my personal goals for the next year, as Barb mentioned, we're going to have a few bumps in the road as we get back to in person, but I'm really dedicated everything I can do to make it a smooth transition for both the in-person meeting at the Highlander and the online Zoom aspect to make that go as well as possible. I also really want to make it a meaningful experience for everyone, working with Devin and the program committee, making sure your time is valuable. So really making sure every week you feel like, wow, I learned from an inspiring speaker. I learned something new today. This is well worth my time. I'm excited I came today. We've got great networking opportunities, as you know, and looking to grow our community service and our outreach into the community. I also really want to focus on engagement, kind of really want to connect our members to programs that are passionate to them. Maybe some members are interested in literacy. We've got our dictionary project, or I Can Read. So I really want to get to know all of our members, and I really want to get to know your why. Why are you Rotarian, and what can we do to connect you with the Rotary Committee that's doing the work that you're passionate about? And finally, Chuck, you touched on it. I really make it fun. If it's not fun, why are we doing it? So look at ways to incorporate fun into our meetings and into our events. So yeah, with that, I really, I'm always open to feedback. I look forward to working with you. As Barb mentioned, she said it so eloquently, it really takes a village to make it happen. So it's going to take, everyone to step up and work together, and there'll be some bumps, but I'm confident we'll get through them together, and really excited for our first step of the new year being back in person at the Highlander next Thursday. So that's what I have. And I guess I'll open it up if anyone has any questions real quick, or any final comments about Barb. Well, Barb, you've done a tremendous job. As I said, we're so happy that your family and your colleagues could join us today. And as I mentioned, you were the perfect person with your enthusiasm and your energy and getting Zoom up and running, your humor. And I always really appreciated how you really reinforced the speaker's message as well, too. That's a hidden skill that not many people have. So thank you, Barb, for all you've done. We're going to have the gift of time today of a few minutes.
Actually, we have Gary Pasha has raised his
sorry,
hand.
Gary.
Yeah. Gary?
Not a problem. I want to make sure that I get the chance, since we have the time, to welcome you, Eric. But looking back, Barb, what a great year. You've epitomized everything it takes to run a club in unusual circumstances. And I'm saying what everybody else is thinking, I know, but you've done a great job, and I would love to see your leadership go to other levels, but that's a personal thing. But thank you so much for your year. And Eric, we welcome you, and anything we can do to help you, we're here.
Great.
Well, thanks so much, Gary. Gary, you certainly are one of the many past presidents of this club that have done instrumental things, both with our club and with the district. And you and Ray, and there's just a lot of great leaders in this club. And so, Eric and I are just following your lead. That's all it is. We're just following you guys. because you've kind of paved the way for this club to be large and successful. And so thanks to you.
Thank you, Barb.
And don't worry, Barb will not be far away. I haven't taken a vacation in a year and a half. Our second meeting in July, I'm actually going to be out of state down in Branson, Missouri. So I will be joining via Zoom, but Barb has graciously agreed to actually finally have that first in-person meeting to help lead us on July 8th. So thank you in advance, Barb, for stepping up and helping out.
You bet. I'm happy to do it. I just hope all those bugs are worked out. We will see, you know, we'll make it through. It might be a bumpy meeting, but we will make it through.
Yep, great. Well, great. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone for joining us today. Look forward to getting to know you all better over the next year. Special thanks to Barb and Kelly. We always like to end with the four-way test. If you have the four-way test slide for us. Oh, yep, 1 second. Yep.
Give her 1 minute.
Yep, take your time. Yep. I put you on the spot there. Sorry. There we go. Okay, please join me in the four-way test. Whoops. Of the things we think, say or do, is it the truth?
Is it fair
fair
to
to
all
all
concerned? Will it build
goodwill and better
friendship? Will
Will
it
be beneficial to all concerned? Great, thanks. Hope to see as many of you as possible at the Highlander next Thursday at noon. Have a great week.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
I was just preparing everyone for a few virtual hybrid glitches.
You do blooper reel.
Thank you, Eric and Barb. Barb, we're going to miss you at the helm, but we certainly welcome Eric with a lot of enthusiasm.
Eric's going to do a great job. He really will. You know, there is no doubt of that.
Absolutely.
So,
well, great job. It's been a
Thanks.
pleasure.
And thanks for joining, Alka. That was a nice surprise to see you here.